Frank, thank you so much. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to join everybody, if only by phone this afternoon. Frank, I want to thank you and the Center for Security Policy, and I want to thank Tommy Sears, really all the members of the coalition that have come together today in Washington. I will be relatively brief and just tell you that I speak as the son of a career Naval Reserve officer who served on an aircraft carrier in Vietnam. I was born on a Navy base. My sister was born on a Navy base. My brother was born on a Navy base. And my wife is the son of a career Army officer who did 2 tours of duty as a helicopter pilot in Vietnam. So for me, this is not just a matter of policy. It's personal. I grew up with it at a time when, those who gave their lives or put their lives at risk in a war that they were sent by their country to fight were not always honored and respected. I don't ever want to see that or the hollowing out of the military that happened after Vietnam ever happen again. And I fear that if the cuts that are contemplated, the ones that have already been undertaken by this administration, in excess of $300 to $400 billion, the projected $600 billion that could happen under a sequestration under the so-called debt deal, which, given the marker that the president laid down on Monday, and given the position that John Boehner and the House Republicans have taken, which is they're not going to support a net tax increase, I think as we sit here today, my friends, the sequestration is looming like a storm cloud. And I think the consequences will be devastating. The Navy has the smallest number of ships that it's had since 1916. We all remember when Ronald Reagan fought for the 600-ship Navy. It is now a shadow of its former strength. The Air Force has the smallest number of aircraft and bases since it was founded as a separate service in 1947. And the cause of our deficit, the cause of our debt is not the military. Between 2010 and 2015, total defense spending will fall from about 5% to about 3.5% of GDP. And whereas military as a percentage of our federal budget was half of the budget during World War II, 90% of the federal budget during World War II, half of the federal budget during Vietnam, 30% of the federal budget when Ronald Reagan won the Cold War. It's now a fifth of the budget and falling. And you can't blame 20% of the federal budget for the largest deficits that have been racked up in U.S. history. The real root of the problem, as everyone knows, is entitlement. And it's the runaway spending of entitlement. Let me just close, Frank, because I really don't want to go on too long, by saying that those of us who are either allies of or are active in the Tea Party movement, I know we've got people who've called in from around the country who are part of the Tea Party movement who are joining us today. We believe in a smaller and limited government, but we don't believe in a government that is incapable of executing the primary function that our founders intended for the federal government, which was to secure the border and to provide for the common defense. That was laid out in the Federalist Papers by our founders as the primary purpose of establishing a national government. And if these cuts go through, if we allow the so-called debt deal sequestration to happen, I believe that it will endanger our servicemen and women's ability to win the war on terror as they fight in the front lines in places like Afghanistan and Iraq and really all over the world. It will make the modernization of critical weapon systems impossible, and it's critical that we fight this. So, Frank, I thank you for the opportunity and privilege to be with you. It's been a great honor to be a part of this coalition, and I just want to thank you and everybody else for all they're doing. We need to make it impossible for the Congress and the President hollow out our military in a time of war. Thank you.